Take a listen to this.
I read it for my mom to see me in trial. So I can see her the last time, bro. See, when my grandma came to the hearing, my grandma came, guess what? She died 3 months later. That was the last time I seen my grandma on the cane, when she sat right here in the chair. No, bro, I'm not taking that chance, bro. I'm not taking that chance. She's doing her job. All I'm mad at her. She's doing her job, man. Let's ride, man. Man, let's ride. Let's ride, bro. Let's ride. Man, let's ride. Man, let's ride. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, man.
Sit down.
She got no respect for me. She never had respect for me, bro. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. Man, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go, bro. That's dead, bro. That's dead, bro. That's dead. Ask her nicely, Jimmy. It ain't like I'm denying anything, man. I want to see my family. That's dead, bro. That's dead. That's dead, bro. That's dead. Respect my mind, bro. She been racist towards me. She always been biased in this courtroom towards me, bro. She always been like that, bro. You ask her one favor. It ain't like you tell her to set me off 3 months. The next day, bro. That's just ridiculous, bro. Nah, man. What's up, Mike? What's up, man? Go on, man. What's up, man?
Now, to give you guys a little context to what you just watched, the two men that you saw handcuffed together were 40-year-old Reginald Lewis Jackson and Roderick Martin. So back in July of 2013, Jackson and Martin unalived 69-year-old minister Annette Anderson and her 20-year-old grandson, Tyrone Walker Jr. The two victims were found with gunshot wounds to the back of their head inside of Annette's home, and items such as cell phones, bank cards, televisions, and an Xbox were stolen. And some weeks later, the cops were able to arrest Jackson, who was also Annette's neighbor, after they found his fingerprints and his DNA inside of her home. And nearly 2 years later, in 2015, they were able to arrest Martin as Jackson's accomplice. And get this, Jackson had just been released from prison after serving 5 years for burglary, and he was on probation at the time of the killings of Annette and her grandson. And Martin was also out on bond at the time of the killings. They both were facing the death penalty, but Jackson was found to be intellectually disabled, so he was barred from being put to death. Now let's fast forward to almost 10 years later to the video you guys just saw. So in that video, Jackson and Martin were in court to accept a plea deal that would give them 40 years if they pled guilty. But Jackson got upset because he looked around that courtroom and he did not see his mama. And as you can see from the video, Jackson and Martin were handcuffed together. And Martin was trying to get Jackson to chill out and accept the plea deal, which would only give him 40 years in prison. But Jackson wasn't trying to hear all that. He walked out of that courtroom, dragging Martin along with him. Martin returned to the courtroom sometime later, uncuffed from Jackson, to accept the plea deal, but he was told, nope,